Hey, well, being willing to come back to another video. Fam, you get a chance to check my video out I made earlier today. Talked about how pensions and Social Securities are a scam. Check that out, please. And I think in my description box, I put pay yourself first. Now, you've been in the garden with me a while. You know that's kind of one of my number one mantras, pay yourself first. And it's been a while since I've actually kind of went into what that actually means and how you can actually do that. And I think the biggest thing about paying yourself first is it's a commitment. You dig? If you're not blessed with generational wealth, if you're not, blessed with employment that pays you, what the top earners make in the country, right? Then you basically got that 9 to 5, right? I mean, the majority of Americans, the majority of people over here work a 9 to 5, right? And so it's been this notion that working a 9 to 5, you can't become rich or you can't become wealthy or you can't enjoy the finer things in life based on your own external happiness. But that's not true. But what is left out of the equation is it's never, ever going to happen overnight. See, a commitment is setting us a set of standards that you want to meet, right? And then following through with it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, in anything you do, I mean, like you committed to go to work every day. You did? Because if not, then there are real consequences. I mean, you can lose your employment, and that, of course, can attribute to other things, right? So anyone that has a job has already a kind of intrinsic commitment because you're going to work every day. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, how can you pay yourself first? Because just to kind of piggyback on my video I did earlier today, remember, if you just depending on, well, I'm going to work 25, 30 years and I'm going to get my pension, or I'm going to work 25, 30 years and I'm going to get my Social Security. Well, if you're not one of the high earners, if you're not in that high earner bracket, then Social Security is really going to be kind of tough when you take in consideration inflation, right? And so what happens is this: go ahead and pay yourself first while you still have a chance, because that pension, that Social Security plan is not going, I'm telling you, it's not going to help you sustain after 5 to 10 years because of inflation. Unless you have other things that you've done to secure a financial stability, then it's going to be kind of tough, right? And it blows me away how they got the system so set up. It's such a Ponzi scheme. It's so fraudulent when you have people work 20, 30 years for companies, and these companies remain, multi-billion dollar companies, multi-million dollar companies, and their former employees don't have health insurance or have to deal with Medicare or Medicaid. But when those in power making policies not to accommodate, the working class or those that are the majority, and the flip side of that is the majority are the ones that allegedly are voting these people into office. I feel it's like I'm in the Matrix. It's like, wait a minute, hold up. Why isn't there like protesting? You got cats out there striking, the UAW striking, the auto industry striking. I just heard, like say the actors and the writers. I don't care about that because that's a choice. And then there's another industry that's on strike. Healthcare workers are now on strike, right? For better health insurance, better pay. But it's like striking? No. Who are the CEOs of these companies, and who are the state representatives in these states, and the senators, the federal senators and congressmen in these states? How do they get a pass? It just It doesn't make sense, family, but it does because, you know, if you rule in a nation of people and you're ruling through fear, and you gaining, through chaos, it's organized chaos for, compliance, right? All these different things that they talking about, the government shutdown, the national Amber Alert, all of these things, Trump, blah, 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 all of these things, and then you mix in, professional sports, NFL, NBA, all that stuff, and no one can actually know or say how much money you actually have contributed to your pension plan, or how much money do you know that you're gonna be, distributed through your retirement plan, i.e. Social Security or whatever. You know what I mean? So me personally, and it's definitely for the youth, but it's never too late to start. Paying yourself first, right? If you're able to commit, and paying yourself first means like soon as you get your check, right? The government has already took theirs through FICA, through Medicare, right? Federal taxes, right? If you have some type of pension plan, that's already out of there. So soon as you get the total amount of which is your net, you need to take, well, I'm not telling what you need to do, but I would suggest, picking out amounts that you can pay yourself first. Now, paying yourself first don't mean when you take that out, then go spend it, because now you're just a spender. But every time you get paid, you take that amount out of there, whether it's $25, $50, $100, $200. If you're able to do that every time you get paid and tell yourself, I'm not going to look at it for 3 years, or I'm not going to look at it for a year or 2 years, but let that be the barometer. And then you can build your pie. Know what I mean? So if you're doing it like $200, you getting paid every 2 weeks. If you're able to do $200, and that's why when you have that partner, when you're married, or you're able to be a youngster, live at home with your mom and dad, and you got your job, so you're starting to stack your paper. These are the things that you want to do, because it's a lot easier to do that with 2 incomes. It's a lot easier to do that if you're young, you stay at the crib. But it's also a lot easier to do that if you're by yourself and you downsize and commit to, hey, 5 years or 10 years, this is where I want to be. Because remember, once you get the paper, then you'll be able to do anything and everything you want to do, because basically that's the objective, to make that money make money. But in order to get that money to invest and get your higher rate of return, it has to start somewhere. And that's the biggest deterrent, and that's the biggest, reason why a lot of people don't get into investing into their own future, because it's not something that you can do overnight, especially if you're working 9 to 5s. You dig? So I just kind of want to come back and re-explain what I mean by pay yourself first. Paying yourself first means as soon as you get your check, bam, that goes away. Hey, that's in your brokerage account or your savings account. No, not in a checking account. You know what I'm saying? In some type of an account that's giving you some positive interest on it. And there are a lot of these online FDIC insured banks that provide that for you. And especially brokerage accounts, including IRAs, which are individual retirement accounts. To get, like, say, at the age 59 and a half years old, if you start at 20, 25, 30, 40, whatever, and you just build that income into your IRA, one, is tax friendly, okay? And two, bam, now you have capital. You dig? So I just want to come back with that, family. Like I said, pay yourself first. In order for this thing to happen, if you're not blessed with generational wealth or with a high paying income, majority of people have to start somewhere, but you have to start. And it starts with paying yourself first. You dig? So, family, thank you for giving me your time. Like I said, in the meantime, between time, may the Most High Inside bring you joy, and being with us out of 5,000.